the Life Daytime Talk Show.
This is your life to live. Be happy, be proud.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Life Daytime. I'm Tanesha Craig-Stewart.
I'm Lisa Cook.
And I'm Mia Bell Grant.
And we are here again, looking beautiful, looking fabulous. As we know, it was Mother's Day a few days ago, so we want to wish all the mothers happy Mother's Day. We have a great, amazing show in store.
We know May is for mothers, and we at the Life Daytime love to honor our mothers.
Yes.
And although Mother's Day is past, we're going to do that within the show. But we also know that May is for mental health awareness. What do we think about it, ladies? Mental health. Does mental health mean criminal? You know, we know that police officers need de-escalation techniques and dealing with mental health and that type of thing. What do we think? How do we protect these people, especially those who are, not supervised well?
Like you said earlier, that the month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So we need to be aware of different types of mental health illnesses, their symptoms, their signs, like how, educate ourselves. Sometimes we may not have family members or friends that may deal with these issues, but it is important to educate yourself to be aware of, what's going on, because going back to COVID,
You're right.
we all got a chance to learn who we were in our true selves. And so, we like to shun away from mental illnesses, but it needs to be on the forefront. And we do need to educate ourselves, like what to do. What are the signs and symptoms of someone, with schizophrenia? Like, how can I help them and not hurt them? Those type of things. So we should be knowledgeable.
I agree with Mia. I think knowledge is key. And then especially if you haven't been exposed to that. Growing up, I had a plethora of mental exposure with my family members. I ain't gonna shout them out, but some uncles, some cousins, some different people in my life that I personally engaged with. So I have experience, but you might not have experience with someone who might suffer from bipolar. There's so many types of illnesses that aren't really visible on the surface. So I think that's why we're seeing so many unfortunate incidents such as Jordan, because we just don't know.
Right.
And so with us not knowing what it quote unquote looks like, that's ignorance on our part, because I think we all have a responsibility to understand each other better. And when it comes to policing, that's a whole nother big issue in our country, is that there's not enough training. I mean, I think you can become a police officer in 6 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. You do not need a college degree. There's a lot of things going on with policy when it comes to policing. So that's a whole nother debate, and maybe that's a future show.
But should we have civilians taking the law into their own hands? How do we protect these people? Because I've heard of even having police officers go out with social workers, when they are called on something where it's dealing with someone with mental illness. And I think at this point, because we all know somebody. We have them in our family. It's just like something we do. We have somebody that's, that we know, has special needs.
But think about that. We keep them in the bag, though, to be honest. Yeah. Even in some churches, we keep them to the bag in the corner. I know I grew up like that. And I can admit that's a shame.
Right.
Even with children who might be autistic or things like that, watch how we handle mental illness, and so that can stop now.
Yeah. Right.
Because a lot of issues, especially mental illness, you don't care about if it's not in your home, if it's not something directly affecting you. So I think it really can start with us.
I think that the United States fails where mental health is concerned. Mental health and substance abuse, we're not on that topic, but we fail ethically on this topic. We just do not do well. So we have to come up with some sort of legislation, to help keep these people protected.
Yeah, and we as people just love one another and have compassion for one another, regardless if you have mental health issues or not. Like, people are lacking compassion, and so if you can have compassion for your fellow person or for anyone, people, person, or whatever, you wouldn't see stuff like that happen,
Not so often.
Yeah.
So on the other side of mental illness and health, now y'all said it's not a choice sometimes. They have certain conditions and mental disparities. But in this case with Carisha, and I think she has a mental illness real bad. Real bad, real bad. If you ever heard of this phrase, real bad, you must be under a rock. So Carisha is a part of City Girls, and she has her city boy, P. Diddy, Love, Shine, Puppy, whoever he is this week.
Yes.
Would you say that this situationship she has, go look at Lisa already. Let me ask Mia. You a little open-minded, because okay, do you think her situationship is kind of promoting something negative to our younger generation or women in general? Because what is she doing with P. Diddy?
So I don't think Carisha is dumb. I think they are using one another. I think that she's getting something from this.
Yes.
I think it's a publicity stunt, to be honest. Carisha Please, her talk show, I believe Diddy is like behind that.
For sure.
She's getting that. That's the girl who's talking about the bags and you better get the money and all that too. So I mean, why would it stop now? Like if she was getting it then why would it stop now, right? So and even P. Diddy, like he's making her valuable. Like he's getting notoriety.
Oh yes,
from this, you know, being on her own, or because who was trying to get food out the reaching out? Nobody was trying to get food out.
Nobody was trying to get food out. Real bad, all that, all these
phrases. She's a smart girl, but I just feel like she don't need them, to be honest. She doesn't. She is the culture.
With you, I don't know. I mean, because she's young Miami too, right?
Yeah, that's same person.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, I don't know if she's maybe dealing with some things as far as low self-esteem, or if she's the smartest woman in Hollywood. Because it's sort of like you say, they're using each other. Diddy has always been known, even when he was with Kim, his baby mama. You know, he was dating J-Lo. You know, so he's always been out there like that. So I can't see anybody really just like saying, "This is my dude." You know, like you know. You know, so I think they're kind of like you say, playing with each other and just doing it in the media and getting everybody sparked up.
So can the average woman do what she do? You know, is that more so the money, like you said, the money, the fame? But how do you feel about women that are saying, "I want a situationship" versus a relationship, a commitment? Is that the new trend because Carisha's doing it? Minus the money and the bags and is it cute to have it?
I'm gonna say this: a situationship women have always been able to get what they want from from who they are, right? So we've been always gifted with that, but it's how you do it, right? And so this has always been going on. She's not the first,
right? Not the last.
Use what you got to get what you want, right? And so she's using what she has to get what she wants, but is it right? No, we know it's not right. I feel like she's a force all by herself. I feel like she is the culture. I feel that, you know, she's the dominant one, and that's how you have to know who you are, right?
So you're saying Carisha for president? That's when you kind of sounded like you're the campaign manager.
I'm gonna
Carisha for president.
I'm gonna say Carisha for the culture.
Okay, well look. Next, Carisha for the culture.
She can do it with Diddy, but can we do it with Dudley? I mean, if he working at 9 to 5, and you try to get your man, I mean, you know, that's a whole different.
Right. Doug. Let's just call him Doug. Can we do the same with Doug?
Right. I think that a woman is a force behind any man. So I mean, we the treasure, baby. We that force that's behind them, making them look good. I'm telling my husband all the day, I'll make you look good. Hello. I'm the treasure. I'm the favor.
Okay. Right. Yes, I love it.
What I think about my sister.
Now see how she switched up? Okay, real bad. See how you switched up real bad?
If you watching this, I love you.
Real bad. Real bad. You gotta wear a real bad shirt.
Getting out of hand, Mr. Grant.
So let's go on to the next topic, right? we want to talk about motherhood. Mother's Day has passed. We still want to talk about and celebrate the women. I feel like motherhood is, a choice. Do you guys agree that motherhood could be a choice, or just because you a woman, you automatically, should be a mother? How do you guys feel about that?
I would absolutely feel like it's a choice, because that's a big decision. Raising a child is more than a notion. You got to be ready for it, mentally, physically, financially, everything. So I mean, bringing a child in the world irresponsibly, or making yourself feel like there's pressure on you to do so. I'm not for it. I'm really not, and I have 3. All of them are choices. But they're here, and I love them. I love them.
So, Tanesha, what are your thoughts about
Well, people who know, look, I am not a natural mother, and I am a big proponent of it being a choice. I'm very transparent with my journey. It's a choice, but it is a choice. I think so with anything. Some people are staying home wives, moms. People look at them, oh my, you're at home. It's different choices in life.
Right.
Just because it worked, at least it might not work for me, and vice versa. So, yeah, I believe in it. It's a choice, and like Lisa said, it's hard work.
Would you say that can women, those that are mothers, can they choose the type of mother they want to be, or because they're already living a certain way, does their environment choose, or can a mom choose the type of mother she's going to be?
When you say the type of mother, sort of like being a single mother, because some people opt to be
Single mother, sometimes.
Yeah, and they come down, a lot of people come down on people like that, but we know the dating pool ain't what it used to be. So, I mean, if you feel like, the
laugh.
father...
Wait, that must be a new laugh for the new season. Give it to us again. See, that's a laugh when you know you made it. Come on, you girl. Yes, I love it.
But yeah, I mean, you got to be serious about this thing. And if a lot of times you'll hear mothers, they'll complain about their children's father and that kind of thing. And my first thing is always to say, look, girl, you pick.
Right.
But
right.
if you go, decide, okay, I want my child to be raised in a 2-parent home, and for some reason that doesn't work,
That doesn't happen.
do what's best for you and that child. And that's just my opinion. Do what's best for you and that child, so that child, because they say, well, I'm always out there for you. Children would rather be from a broken home than live in one.
Right.
So
right.
I mean, do what's best for you in that situation, and keep it moving. Don't worry about what people say.
And so another question from this team. Just because moms naturally push a baby out, right? Do that make them? Is that a qualification to be a mother? Just because I can push a baby, does that make me a mom?
Or a woman.
Or a woman?
Right.
And I'm only asking you because, I'll say this, like Tanesha, like with my daughter, you were with her like 8 hours of the day. You, mama at work, she with the teacher.
Yes.
Like, how many times do you see those parents and they don't call you about these events,
for sure.
or you send notes and they don't come to parent-teacher conferences? So just because you push out a baby, does that make you a mom? Like you were experiences from what you see in the school system.
And I'm so glad you said that, because a lot of times we bash the man, just because he did this, is he a pop? Same with mother. You said it perfectly.
Right.
There's a lot of mothers who don't honor that role. Like Miss Lisa said, they aren't responsible. I've seen them. And thankfully, there's people that come into their lives that kind of fill in that gap. But I think there's a lot of women who weren't ready, who thought they were ready, or just did something irresponsible. So I don't think because naturally you birthed the child, you're a mother, but are you really mommy? Are you really that person that they can look up to?
Right.
I don't think that has to be a natural birth. A lot of people say you can father a child, but are you dad? Are you so I think that's you hit the nail on the head when it comes to that, because I do know some women that had children and they never raised them.
Because you just said that, right? And you are in the school system, and so let's bring up the woman, the bus driver, and the daughter, and the mom. And she's currently they currently arrested her, and
Yes.
I think it was the stepfather or something like that.
Something like that.
And the daughters from beating up the bus driver. Like, give me you guys' take on that as a mom
I think
coming to the stop.
absolutely ridiculous. And they had the lady that was the bus driver. She couldn't even get through the interview without crying. It was just so emotional to her because she says everybody's questioning her. Well, why'd you open the door? Why'd you do this? Well, because I'm a grown woman trying to speak with another grown woman, and I was accosted. I was, there was something that was violent that took place against me for that, because I heard that she told the child to call the mom, tell your mom to come to the bus, and then all this happens.
I add a little bit of color to it, right? So I saw the video, right? And so the daughter was on the bus and she was using a big adult word.
Oh yeah, for
right?
sure.
But the bus driver, she got out of her seat and she came to the girl and she was like, call your mama. I bet you your mammy. She said, mammy, don't have no car. That's why you on this bus. So how would you as a parent de-escalate that situation? Like, how would you de-escalate that situation?
You gonna not see, she gonna give that to me. But no, I will say this, like you said, de-escalate. The bus driver is the adult. I've seen both sides so many times, but I will say in this instance, if that is correct, the bus driver should have let her get off that good bus, and she could have called that parent the next morning at the school in front of the principal, have a report done, X, Y, and Z. Now, the issue that we're talking about is once the mother got there, you didn't handle business.
Right.
I think kids are raising kids. We know that. I meet grandmothers that are under 45. So it's literally children raising children. So if I had you at 14, 15, my mental sometimes is still in that age gap. So that is what we're seeing a lot in our communities. It does not give that a reason to get on a bus, physically attack anyone. So that's why she's where she is now. But it's a cycle. It's a cycle of culture where we don't know how to de-escalate.
Right.
That's literally what it was. And even the bus drivers should not have handled it like that.
Right.
Kids will get on your nerves. Anyone will get on your nerves. But what you can control is how you react.
Right.
So in my instance, in any walk of my life, if I feel threatened, I'm going to walk away. If I even see a piece of red out of the corner of my eye, a piece of red, I know what I need to do to back away. So it's going to knowing yourself,
right?
But not even putting yourself in that position. So if she went to the back and said mammy and happy,
But even with me, my daughter, when she was in high school, I tell my daughter, I said, look, you are not to disrespect no adult. I don't care what they call you or what you've done or what they did. You come get me.
That's right.
You tell me. Let me de-escalate the situation, because you're with them people for 8 hours of the day. You are only with me at 5 o'clock. So we have to make the best of it, right? And so when I did go to the school, I went, come. What happened?
They don't know what's
How can we work together to get this done? I was a single, actually, my daughter's dad is deceased, so I was forced to be a single mom. So I was a widow raising a teenage girl, and so all of the help, you were a major help to my daughter. And so, I didn't want to go to the school just because Tanesha say, you can't talk on the phone today, or you got to do it. You have to follow those people's rules.
Right.
You with them all day. And so, moms, I just want to let you know, I know you want to be there for your children. I know you want to protect them, but to protect them is to go there and just to de-escalate, that situation.
Mom, be mom.
Exactly.
That's a whole nother segment. Let's stop trying to be TikTok friends and close friends on Instagram with our child. Let's be moms.
Right.
Let's be mom. And a lot of those young people want an authority figure, whether they say it or never say it. They want someone to discipline them. They want to follow rules. They want to be under authority. Ask me how I know. So we need to understand that too. children want to be the child.
Right.
Because a lot of these kids, you're giving them too much responsibility, if truth be told. You have them raise the younger ones, wash them, bathe them. There's responsibilities these young people don't need, but that's why they feel entitled to handle an adult.
And I
Because
didn't,
they're doing that.
I didn't see that part of the video, but I don't think that the bus driver should have gotten on the child
no.
level. But at the same time, you see why the child's acting a certain way. If the mom is on the bus,
Correct. If you saw how the child reacted.
oh my God.
And
And
then
she
you see
was
the
saying,
mom.
let me get on the end. I was like, oh my God, I'm just.
If you saw how the child reacted, and then you already know it's worth the trouble behind.
Yeah. And then you just, you have the substitute teacher that was just in the Bible.
Mia, give us an example, or has that ever happened to you where someone was inappropriate or asked you, were you expecting and you weren't, or maybe you had lost a child? I just feel that it happens so often. So do you have a moment where that happened to you?
Yes, me and my husband last year we had just had our baby and we had purchased a house, and so we were, we did the little picture with the little key and we were just excited, and somebody was like, "Oh, congratulations twice," and I'm like, "Okay, what's that mean?" And she was like, "You expecting?" I was like, I had her, but I just like, y'all don't know, postpartum depression is a real So if you see that a woman has just had a child and that child is however many months old, like, just be kind.
Right.
If you think that she may be pregnant or whatever, like, let her announce that and not you. But yeah, postpartum is so, it's an ugly monster. And we're talking about mental health, and you don't know what people are experiencing or what they have experienced.
Yeah. The pregnancy brain is real too. And I know a lot of times, before when I was pregnant, I remember people just being inappropriate. You say something nice, oh, cute little baby. Okay, don't touch her. Don't walk up and touch her. Or even being pregnant, I remember people would just walk up and rub my stomach. And it's like, if you wouldn't walk up and rub my breast,
Well, you'll be surprised.
yeah,
These people out here, child.
That's right. This is still me. Don't touch my stomach. I don't know you. We shouldn't even be that close to each other. So, people do need to extend some boundaries, and you have to sometimes let people know things.
Audience members, go ahead and share, and tag this with someone, and share your stories with us, because I think this happens too many times. And then they're touching your stomach, your hips, and I know we are beautiful Black women. I'll admit, y'all are obsessed with beautiful Black women.
How do we assert ourselves in a way where we're able to get things off our chest so that we're not, because holding things in can really cause you some actual health problems. Your blood pressure goes up, you get depression, just all kinds of things happening.
Go to jail.
Yeah,
I was going to say constipation, but
using I statements, how can we, assert ourselves and get things off our chest assertively to people so that people know how to deal with it?
That's good.
I would definitely say I used to be in a domestic situation with my first husband, and so just going through that situation, not having a voice, and I told myself after I got out of that situation, I was like, God, I'm gonna keep my voice. Like, I have to keep my voice, I have to just tell people what I'm feeling. And one of the things is just that we don't like to say what we're feeling, or we don't like to be transparent to say, oh, today, Tanesha, you kind of hurt my feelings a little bit because, I felt this way when you said this,
Right.
and then that way, Tanesha, you can come back and say, well, girl, I didn't even mean it that way, because sometimes it's like a
misunderstanding.
Right, a misconception of how you thought something would, be said, and then we are a text savvy,
text world,
email generation, and so emails can get
misconstrued.
Definitely.
I agree with you as well. I think that whenever you address an issue, it should come out of love. So that love might not happen in that moment. It might need to take a few hours. You might need to take a few days to really address an issue. With me, it depends on who it is. But if I'm really hurt about something, I cannot talk to you in that moment, and I can't force that moment.
Right.
But I do advise, let that person know, because all it does is hurt you internally, and then you start questioning yourself, like maybe I should have done this, maybe I should have done that. But every voice matters. But you, like she said, in her situation, she felt that it didn't matter. And there's other situations, the workplace might not be welcoming of a voice, your home, but your family. But your voice does matter. Yeah. And knowing that it matters is big.
Right. And I'm like you, Tanesha. If I have something that I need to address with somebody, I have to wait till I lose the emotions. I can't have that because I'm
right.
simple.
We're gonna be the mom on the bus. We're gonna be back on the bus fighting, and we not fighting on the bus this year.
Right. That's why I say go to jail.
And I'm going to jail. Said before on the life daytime, no
violence.
Have to use no.
Oh, I thought she said. I said no violence. She didn't repeat that. I thought you were saying no violence together. No, she didn't go with that.
I statements tell people no. It's complete sentence. Move on.
Right. And setting boundaries is healthy, right?
Yes.
Always be a yes person. If you're yes,
you get tired.
Quick. Yes, and yes, and yes. Like you're gonna be tired.
You're gonna be tired.
Like those people gonna get what they gonna get out of you, and you're gonna be sitting there,
you're gonna be run down,
upset, and mad,
and tired.
Right. So I'm just saying, like, protecting your boundaries is really, really important. And those that are around you that love you or have been around you, they're gonna accept it.
And they'll respect it too.
Right.
They're gonna respect that too. Right. Like, this is a sensitive subject for Mia, so I know not to do this. You know, I have friends, they know I don't like cursing, so they're not gonna curse like sailors. Or if you're on a strict diet, okay, we can't bring this around Lisa. Those are boundaries. Right. So if they love you, they care for you, they already know what time it is.
Right.
So you should really check who you're around if you keep going against the grain. Like, okay, why are we arguing?
Right.
There's a misunderstanding. Right. So your voice matters.
And you cannot deal with a person that's just determined to misread you. You just can't. You know, there's no point arguing it. And I always say, y'all heard me say it before, I protect my peace.
Right.
At all costs. I don't care if my children, they're getting out. Look, you got to go away from me for a little while because I can't, I can't deal with that. And so I protect my peace at all costs. And if I need to walk away, or if I need to sit in the garage, or if I need to go to a park, that's what I do to keep my peace.
Right, get it off your chest. Get it off your chest.
Now, I would say that is one encouraging word that we can say to our mothers is to keep your peace at all costs. Right. So, Mia, what are some encouraging words you want to give to our mothers today before we close out?
I'm going to say that you are doing a great job. Continue to use the tools that you have. Don't go out there trying to get your children the moon if only you can afford the stars. Give them the stars, and they're going to definitely appreciate it. So use the tools that you have. Continue to love on your children. Continue to support them in any way that you may feel, they need to be supported in. Like, continue to be you. Be who you feel is necessary for your children, because their personality. So I just want to encourage you just to continue to do what you're doing with the tools you've been equipped with.
Excellent. Great. What would you tell the mothers, or mothers expecting to be mothers?
Yeah, because whether you're a mother or a mother figure, you are the greatest gift we have. You are developing young minds, and so we support you. We love you. We hope you had a good Mother's Day, and just continue to tune in.
And I'll say this to encourage those who don't have the cookie cutter life, and motherhood is motherhooding. Life is lifing. Remember, keep going. There's little ones watching you. There's little eyes watching you and ears listening. You are important, and your voice matters. Your role matters. You matter. So take care of you, mothers. Exactly. Because we know that you wear many hats. You're in school, you're starting that business, you're at work, you're doing this, but remember, you matter. Right. So remember to keep pouring into yourself, right? Because you have so many people to pour back into. So this has been a beautiful show. But we can't forget about the nurses. Yes, celebrating our nurses this past week. Thank you. And I know when I'm on that table, I get on y'all nerves. I do. So thank you. I think I'm at the Ritz when I be in the the hospital. I think, I'm just asking for everything. So thank you to all of our nurses, all of our health professionals. We love you, and our teachers. Thank you. Now this is when the rolls are supposed to come out. Y'all got the rolls and then the confetti. Where's the confetti?
Yes.
But yes, we honor all of our educators, those special people in those lives of those young children.
I don't know how y'all do it.
Look,
Yes.
that prayer cloth we sold last season, y'all didn't buy that prayer cloth. I did.
And if
That's how we did.
a special teacher in your life,
Yes, shout them
put
out.
so into them this
Oh,
week and
yes.
just give them some of the nice things that they deserve. Because a lot of them are, we know they're coming out of their pockets, they're doing extra
So
and all that
much.
kind of stuff for our children. So we
Superheroes.
love you and appreciate you.
So thank you everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. This is The Life Daytime. I'm Tanesha Craig-Stewart.
I'm Lisa Cook.
And I'm Mia Bell Ray.
See you next time.
This is your life to